on Thursday, March 17th, 2022. Can I get a roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Lopez?
He is actually trying to log on now, Karen.
Oh, okay. Ms. Cerna?
Present.
Ms. Pirard?
Present.
Mr. Krenz? Mr. JJ Gonzalez?
Here.
Mr. Katz?
Here.
Chair Gonzalez?
Here.
And I see Mr. Lopez behind you. So I'll mark him as present. You have a
Okay.
quorum.
Okay, thank you. I saw him there behind Gabriel too. Okay, thank you. Pledge of Allegiance.
Get to stand up.
I pledge allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all. Thank you. Okay, approval of the agenda. Any amendments, Vicky?
Mr. Chair, there are no amendments to the agenda.
How about tabled or withdrawn items?
No, Mr. Chair, there is only one case and it should be heard today.
Thank you. Okay, approval of February 17th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, you ought to get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moves to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, it carries. Thank you. Okay, approval of the minutes of February 17th, 2022. Do I have discussion or a motion?
Katz would move to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, new business. Case number 21-5200, First Serve Academy and Tennis Center variance. Mr. Bustos, please proceed.
Mr. Chair, before Mr. Bustos starts, I don't know that I see the applicant on the call.
Well, that's a good point.
So I don't know if they had any communication with staff or if the commission wants to allow staff to contact the applicant to see if they'll be joining shortly or if they're having trouble joining.
Yes, please have staff contact the applicant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Lucero and Mr. Chair, we have contact with the applicant now, and I think they should be joining on here shortly.
Thank you, Gabriel. Anybody got any good jokes?
Shoots green on the. Yeah. So if you click it. Yeah.
Hey, Leroy.
How you doing, Charlie?
Good to see you around. Pretty good. There we go. I think somebody's coming. Somebody came up.
Hello, this is Marcy Riskin.
Hello, Miss Riskin. We started the meeting and we were just waiting for your acknowledgement that you're here.
Yep, I am here. Lisa Martinez is also trying to get on. We had some issues getting on, so she should be on soon.
Thank you for continuing to attempt it.
It took us a while. Sorry about that. We were on the phone with Jose. We can probably move forward
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
without Lisa. I'm the architect for the project, so.
Okay, well then let's go back to the staff. Gabriel, please proceed with your presentation.
First Serve Academy and Tennis Center applicant, Riskin Associates Architecture Agent, request a variance of section 7.7.4.1.1 to allow tennis court fencing to exceed 8 feet, allow 10 at a proposed commercial tennis complex that will serve the children and youth of Santa Fe. The 8.9 acre property is zoned as public institutional. The site is located at 3233 Rodeo Road within Township 16 North, Range 9 East, Section 4, SDA 2. On December 15th, 2021, the applicant submitted a variance request to allow sections of tennis court fencing to be 10 feet in height for a proposed commercial tennis complex. Per Chapter 7, Section 7.7.4.1 of the SLDC states the maximum height of walls and fences shall not exceed 8 feet. Therefore, the applicant requests a variance to allow a fence to exceed code requirements by 2 feet and allow a 10-foot high fence. The subject property is 8.9 acres and is situated off Rodeo Road adjacent to commercial properties located within Santa Fe city limits. The applicant has submitted an application to Santa Fe County for an administrative site development plan for a classroom and sports facility complex. The First Serve complex includes an 8,626 square foot administrative building consisting of classroom, office space, 6 outdoor tennis courts, and 4 outdoor pickleball courts. There will also be a 56,628 square foot building, which will house 6 indoor tennis courts. The proposed 10-foot high fencing will be located on the rear and rear sides of the outdoor tennis and pickleball courts at the west end of the property. Each section of 10-foot fencing is roughly 120 feet in length, with one large section that is 165 feet in length. On February 10th, 2022, this request was presented to the Sustainable Land Development Hearing Officer. There was no one from the public who spoke in regards to the case. The hearing officer memorialized findings of fact and conclusions of law in a written order on this request. The hearing officer, based on the evidence presented, recommended approval of the variance request. The applicant has addressed the variance criteria and staff has responded. Staff recommendation. The request for a 10-foot fence does not meet the requirements of the SLDC. However, the applicant is not requesting the variance for visual aesthetics, but rather for practical purposes. Staff believes fencing 10 feet in height would be beneficial in preventing tennis balls from being hit out of the tennis courts and onto surrounding properties and roads. If the Planning Commission finds the variance criteria has been met and recommends approval of the variance, staff recommends the following condition be imposed. Mr. Chair, may I enter the following conditions into the record?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I now stand for any questions.
Okay, does the commission have any questions? Frank?
Yeah, where is it? Can you show us a graphic that shows where it is with relation to the rodeo grounds and such?
Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Miss Lucero. I was going to try to share my
Let
screen.
me see if I can share the document. Having some technical difficulties with my computer here. Let's see. Okay, can everyone see the aerial on the screen?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So this is the property that we're speaking of, that we're dealing with here today. That's let's see, 3233 Rodeo Road. So it's the top square highlighted in blue.
32, 33, yeah.
So
Okay.
here's, and I believe Gabe can probably walk us through it, but I believe the 3221 to the east is the Geneva Chavez Center.
Thank you. That places it for me. So it's just that one square, the 20, 32, 33, not the ones that face that abut Rodeo Road.
I believe that's correct.
Thank
And
you.
Gabe can correct me if I'm wrong.
Commissioner Katz, that is correct. And then the property to the south of the subject property is the Santa Fe County Fairgrounds building, and that's the parcel that abuts Rodeo Road.
Perfect.
Any other questions of staff and the commission?
Mr. Chair,
JJ?
I've got a question.
Sure.
You know, since this property is within the city limits, how is it that Santa Fe County has jurisdiction on this property for zoning? I just wondered.
Mr. Chair, Commission Member Gonzalez, so it's actually within county jurisdiction, but it is surrounded by the city limits. So these two properties do fall within county jurisdiction, the two highlighted on the map.
I thought at one time that the city acquired jurisdiction over everything within 599, I-25 for their purposes. How does this stay out of the city jurisdiction?
Mr. Chair, Commission Member Gonzalez, I believe it's because it was owned by Santa Fe County. So it stayed, as a couple of small pockets within the city limits that was still under the county's jurisdiction.
And will the city have to come and approve anything that we approve today or disapprove? Or this is the final agency, or is this the final on this project, on this variance?
Commissioner Gonzalez, the case that's being presented today is strictly just for the tennis court fencing height.
Yes.
The applicants have submitted for a administrative site development plan, which is currently being reviewed. But as far as what's being presented tonight, it is strictly regarding the height of the fencing.
Oh, I understand that, yes. Well, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, JJ. Anybody else? Any other commissioners have any questions of staff?
Yeah, I had a question. Is the only condition from staff that the fence be no higher than 10 feet?
Who asked the question? I apologize.
Hi, Wendy Perard.
Yes, Commissioner Perard, that was the only condition that staff had.
Okay, thank you.
Gabriel, so I think with what you stated earlier, the tennis courts have not been constructed yet. They're proposed, correct?
Mr. Chair, that is correct.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions for the commission? Staff? All right. Is the applicant ready to make her presentation?
Yes,
Still there?
yes, I'm still here.
Ms. Riskin, can I swear you in first, please?
Of course,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth?
I do.
You have to swear in her helper there.
Yeah, I should swear him in. And your address, please?
He's great.
Oh,
Business address,
sure.
227 East Palace Avenue, Suite C, Santa Fe 87501.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm not sure that I have anything to add as far as the presentation. Everything that Gabe said was correct. It is a piece of county property that is sitting completely surrounded, except for that other piece. I believe that the other piece that you saw that is adjacent to Rodeo Road, I think is also a piece of county property. But we're kind of an island surrounded by city property. There are some things that we do need to go through the city for, which is things like access. And we're going to be accessing off Richards. We're also city water and sewer, but otherwise it is a county property. So we're going through the permitting process through the county. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Does anyone have any questions of the applicant?
I do, Mr. Chair.
JJ, please
JJ.
do.
I was wondering, are you leasing the property from the county or are you buying it from the county?
It's already been purchased. So it's under county jurisdiction, but it's no longer owned by the county. And it was actually purchased from someone else. I'm not sure when the county owned it or if they owned it, but it was purchased by a private party from another private party.
That's kind of confusing. I thought it was county property, but that's okay.
I think it used to be county property. It's in county jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions?
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Commissioner, please do.
This is Commissioner Cerna. Once again, going back to the ownership issue, when did the change of ownership take place?
I do have some ownership documents that we did submit. Gabe, do you have that in front of you? I can look for them as well. It's under forms. We have the warranty deed. I believe it was in 2020 that the current owner purchased the property, my client.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, I have a question for staff. I guess I guess would be, it's probably not a perfect comparison, but it's kind of like, I remember when we had issues when I was with the county, when we were dealing with the country club golf course and the fencing over there. And I don't remember, did that come for a variance a long time, or was that grandfathered in?
Mr. Chair, I think I do recall them coming in for a variance on the height of those of the netting surrounding the country club at the time. But because it was a private entity, at that time it was under the county's jurisdiction.
Right, yeah, I remember, I kind of remember, I remember that now. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. Does anybody out there have any questions or comments for or against this project? Anybody else out there? All right, no one coming forward. I'm going to ask the commission, do we have any comments or discussion or any motions?
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion.
Mr. Katz, please do.
Yes, in this case, I would move to approve the application and find that all of the criteria for the exception have been met. And I would ask that it be approved with the condition recommended by staff.
Okay, any
I'll second
seconds?
the motion.
Okay. Karen, can you give me a roll call?
Yes,
All in favor of this motion?
sure. Ms. Serna,
Approve?
Ms. Pirard,
Yeah, approve.
Mr. JJ Gonzalez, Mr. Lopez,
Approve.
Mr. Katz,
Approve.
and Chair Gonzalez.
Approved.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you all. And let's move on to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in front of us. Okay, petitions from the floor, anything? All right, communications from the commission members. Any comments, any? I want to bring one thing up. Vicky, last summer, we had a variance come before us for the cell tower in Las Campanas. And I know when they came before us, they were really urgent and emergency. And I'm just curious, I do a lot of work out there and I haven't seen anything start yet. So I'm just curious, have they received permits or submitted for permits? And I'm just curious if you have any updated information on that. And if you don't have any now, you can get it to us at the next meeting, that'd be fine.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I don't believe that we've issued permits on that, but I know Gabriel was the case manager, so he may have received something recently that that I haven't been made aware of, so I don't know if.
Gabriel, talk to us.
Mr. Chair, as you know, that case did come before you, some time ago. They did get their approvals. But I do not believe they ever submitted for the actual construction permit. And, I know they were pretty eager to get the approvals, but I think it was going to take some time to, send the project out to bid and get a contractor on board. So, but yeah, as far as a construction permit being issued, we have not issued that yet.
Okay, thank you. And I guess as all the other variances, Vicky, the variances go with the land, correct? There's no sunset. Am I correct?
Mr. Chair, under the SLDC, there is an expiration of 2 years from the date the variance was granted. So they would have to begin construction within that time frame.
Thank you for the information. So we just need to make sure we track that. And okay, communications from the attorney. Roger, anything?
Well, greetings, Mr. Chair, but no special communications from the attorney's office today.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Matters from land use staff. Vicky, Paul,
Sure.
anything?
Mr. Chair, we don't have anything to address this afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next regular scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission is April 21st, 2022. Can I get a motion to adjourn? And it's been nice seeing you all. Can't wait till we meet in person again.
Move to adjourn.
Right.
Second.
Yankees.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Have a good one. See y'all later. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's double.